Hi everybody, and welcome to Rooster Crow Farms. I am Trish. It is bright outside today. The sun is shining and I am late getting out here with my chickens, so I'm sure that they're starving. Are you guys hungry this morning? And yesterday, I had a little bit of a situation with that joker right there. So I let him out for a minute and I was weeding my tomatoes, and I just really thought that they weren't going to bother my tomatoes. Well, that was a dumb mistake because obviously they wanted to eat all my tomatoes. But this one, as I was sitting there pruning, out of nowhere, he attacked me. So obviously I don't want an attacking rooster, so I hope he gets out of that little phase and doesn't decide to try to attack me again, because I hate, and I use that word loosely, not loosely, I'm not a fan of mean roosters at all. And I'm gonna walk out backwards to see if he tries to come after me. See that other one over there? They've been separated because I have two roosters over there actually. And they will fight each other between the fences. But that one over there, he's never come at me, but man, he's bit me a time or two when I picked him up. So I'm just gonna walk out backwards. Maybe it was just a fluke. So far, so good. Okay, I made some fried potatoes with onions, and with onions that weren't out of my garden, but the green pepper was, and so was the potato out of my garden. So I am giving them the scraps of that. I got my egg basket. We're gonna see how many eggs I got today. Oh, yesterday. That was from my other pen. Two in here. I like to lay. Oh yeah. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Alright, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay, so I have all my eggs put up, all 18 of them. Yay! Now I'm gonna pick me some tomatoes, and I'm gonna try to do some inventory for myself of how many tomato plants that I planted, what varieties that I planted, because it's a good time to, I know this is what we've all been waiting for, right? When it's harvesting and they're coming in, but it's almost the worst time because it's so hot and miserable. And staking up tomato plants. Now, I didn't stake this one up yesterday. This is the one that I grew in a pot. Let me flip this around. It is a jungle, and it needs to be tied up probably. But probably need some water. I probably need to water that. Actually, I don't. It feels kind of good. So this is a Roma tomato, and I've got several off of here. The Romas do have a tendency to get disease, and majority of them aren't diseasing, but they're splitting. And I really just think that's a water problem on my part. So these are, I'm gonna leave those ones on there for a little bit longer. But I've picked several off of this Roma tomato plant. This is a very good producer right here. And just a note to self for next year, as far as planting my yellow pears in containers, I don't know if I just got it into probably too small of a container. I got some, but not enough to really talk about. So next year, I definitely won't do that. Okay, over here in my jungle of tomatoes, like literally these are the ones that we put in because we were gonna throw away, and we're like, well, we'll just put them out here and see what happens, because this land right here used to be all full of chickens and pigs. so I had good fertilization, and this really has been the best. Now, I didn't label these, so I don't really know what I've got here, what these ones are, but they're all heirlooms. But this is a wonderful tomato here. I don't know, I guess I'll put that one. Put some more over there. Let's see if they're ready. Okay. I have a watermelon too that I planted out here that has gone crazy. Like, it's all up through everywhere. And obviously we have a little watermelon right there. Actually, there's no little about it, it's a big one. So these are all my pears. Bed. Got a big one down there I gotta get to. That's a pretty one. Nice and red. Oh, this might be the prettiest one I've grown. Right there. Not too bad for, so let me count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 tomato plants in this little area. 2 of them are my yellow pears, and then the majority of them are my brown. I don't know, I have to look to see what those ones are, but I know I have some Romas in here, and that's that. Yes, so yesterday, these are some more that we just planted kind of willy-nilly, but they're kind of a late harvest, and I have not been taking care of them. I went out here last night and trimmed this one and this one. That one needs a longer stake, and I ran out of stakes. And, oh God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that? Can you see that on the camera? That is like a giant fire ant or something. I don't know what that is. But I did get some cayenne out of here to get out here maybe tonight and get on working on these. We're going to enter the garden. I'm gonna open my door. My dogs are put up, so don't worry about them. Here's my garden and its loveliness. Okay, so obviously I need to probably water a little bit. We just had so much rain, I have kind of been not. These are some basil that have kind of flowered out to seed. This is a tomato plant. I don't know what variety, but it's in my pot here and it's doing lovely. I got tomato plants all through here. Now this one might look like it has some kind of disease. It just, I don't know. It looks kind of bad and it's kind of wilted up. See how the leaves are? And there's no worms on it. There's nothing been eating on it. But it just kind of looks sad. That tomato plant there. This one here. I have vined up my cucumbers yesterday up my lawn, so they're doing good. The ones that are out here, my lavender is overwatered because we got so much water. There's more cucumbers there on that side. And over here, my tomatoes, my calendula in the pot finally flowered. But I got my tomatoes here that are doing pretty well. My mint's starting to go to seed. Have another tomato there. This here is my long bean. And I only have 2 long beans planted there. But it has gone all the way up there. So that's kind of cool. A bird up there. Okay, so now walking over here. My eggplant that I planted in my container, I just picked an eggplant off of it yesterday. It's given me like 3 or 4 eggplants. it has really done great. I mean, I don't mind having it in the pot. It has done lovely in the pot. I took down all of my sunflowers that died during the water and storms, but that one has definitely not died. It's doing very well. My rose bush is starting to vine out, so I'm trying to train them to vine all through there, through the fencing. Here's my other tomato plant. This is actually Dr. Witchy's, and I got a yellow tomato on there. I hope isn't gonna... Aw, man, it's no good. I have another yellow tomato plant there. Got a tomato on it. I didn't get to this yesterday. It's another weedy mess that needs to be dealt with. These are my pumpkins. And look, if you look down in there, they're mini pumpkins. I bought those from the nursery, or from Lowe's, I think. Okay, over here are my okra. And I got several okra that are just about, might be ready to clip actually. My chamomile. More okra here. And my big nasturtium over there. That has gone. My okra is really starting to get up there. Okay, so over here I have more yellow pears. Pick those. Okay, so yellow pears definitely doing fabulous. I noticed when I was tying these up though that we did have a worm that was eating. See how you can tell there's no leaves left in here? And me and my husband looked and looked and looked, and I could not find one. So I don't know, maybe a bird came and got it. I got a bird up there that's been watching me this whole time. So maybe a bird got it, I don't know, but like I said, we looked and couldn't really, they're so camouflaged. Sometimes it's hard to find them, but it really annihilated this plant. And if you want a cherry tomato variety, I think this is still considered a cherry. This is a sweetheart cherry, and I would just have to say that this is my favorite cherry tomato, and I'm definitely going to plant more of these next year. It's the first time I planted these, and they'll definitely be in my garden, more of them. Look at that pretty flower on my okra. Flowers. So pretty. It's like deep red in the middle. Alright, this is my zucchini bed. Believe it or not, there's just 2 zucchini plants in here with all my flowers. And I hadn't been, yep. There's a couple in here. There's a big old zucchini there. Got another one. I just are there, not there one day, and the next day they're there. See, that one's a little too small, so I don't want to pluck that one, but by tomorrow it'll probably be huge. Pluck all those tiny tomatoes. There's so many of them. And some more over here. They're kind of dying back because I'm doing an awful job at watering this, because we've had so much rain. I also have my basil over here. I have my ornamental peppers that are starting to produce some peppers. So I need to get out here and water these, but these are definitely either getting attacked by a worm or dying back. And truly, I have way too many of those spoon tomato plants, so I'm not just conceptually concerned about it. Yesterday, we snipped all of our potatoes, and I'm going to do a video on that. You usually want to wait about a week before you for them to dry out. And we will hopefully have a whole slew of potatoes in there, so I'm hoping. And these beans have really gotten, I don't know if we've got too much water or what, but they're looking really kind of sad. And I don't really have any beans to speak of on there. I have some Eureka yellow beans going on over here. I need to probably maybe get some of those off of there. The cat scared me. This, I thought, was supposed to be some kind of a zucchini. Kind of doing weird things. There's another green bean plant. My tomato plant is looking really bad. I guess I need to water them, but we had so much water. Maybe I do. I have a cucumber plant kind of mixed in there with all my cosmos. My cosmos need to come out. They're dead. But now I've gotten several good cucumbers out of there. My lemon balm still is doing good. All my zinnias are doing really good over there. So I was gonna trellis this stuff up, but I didn't. This is an eggplant, which is obviously giving me great, it's doing great. It's already got 2 eggplants on there. And this whole mess right here is all cucumbers. So, of course, you know, I was really wanting to have pickles, so I went a little crazy on my cucumbers. That's okay. I'm just gonna have to dig and hopefully not miss them, because you don't want them too big. What happens when they get too big is they look like this over here. Of course, these are rotted because they've been here for a minute, but they turn yellow, and nobody wants to show you the nasty part of the garden when you let things go too much. I want to show you all the beauty, So anyways, I probably have several more over there I need to pick, which is fun because I've got a new recipe from my sister-in-law for homemade bread and butter pickles. Okay, and I don't know why, but my cats, they are, every time I'm in the garden, look where they're at. They're just chilling, they're relaxing. I don't know what's going on. Well, I found some more cucumbers, and like I said, that's my where that one is almost too big. I'm not sure if I'll pickle that one or not. But definitely now I have enough. Amy, if you're watching, to pickle. I think I have like a couple pounds in the house, so that probably makes maybe 5 or 6 pounds, maybe. Yay! Okay, so over on this side, this is not cucumbers, this is actually cantaloupe. And on this side, I know you can't really differentiate, this is the stuff I bought plants from Lowe's. And then over here are from seed, and they're smaller. They're called, oh, they're little cantaloupe. I can't think of the name of them. It'll come to me. But anyway, so I have some cantaloupe growing, and so this is the one I want to know if it is ripe yet. Check that out. What do people think? It does kind of have a blue-green tint to it. I mean, it looks like a cantaloupe I'd buy in the store. So give me your input on that one, y'all. That one over there is another one. And that one, no, that one. Let's see. I got a couple more growing here. They look kind of rough, but I think all that rain definitely got them. So yeah, that is my cantaloupe mess. It's actually quite beautiful if you look at it. All my cucumbers rolling over my bed, my cantaloupe rolling over my bed. It's quite pretty. I have some more, some yellow crooked neck squash, and I think these are all yellow squash actually through here. We plucked some last night from there. Oh, look at that. You know what that is right there? Do you see that on that plant? Those are squash eggs. To get out here and get those taken care of. Okay, so here's my tomatoes. And I don't think next year I will put my tomatoes out here in this area. I don't know. They just don't seem to be doing as well as them over there. Of course, I have all different kinds of varieties, so I think some of them are just the variety of tomato, but I did plant me some zinnias, and the storm has knocked them down, unfortunately. But I got these tomatoes that need to come off. There's a squash bug right there. That's a beautiful zinnia though. We tied up all these last night. That one's split. My problem this year, I think, is just the unevenness of the rain showers. You know, we had that drought and then we didn't. I think that hurts your tomatoes. So, note to self for next year. But the rest of those, I mean, and they're growing past this. So, you know, if I had the system where I could wind them back down, but I don't. But those zinnias are huge. Look at them all. This is another zucchini that I planted in here. It doesn't, I think we plucked a zucchini off here last night, so we're good on this one. And then on the other side, of course, I have some more tomatoes. I wish I could remember what tomato this was. I believe it might be a Roma or an Amish paste maybe, but it's so meaty. I mean, it is a good tomato and it's not cracked at all. I don't know what that is. So this is my watermelon amongst the weeds. I have a watermelon growing. There it is. See? More zinnias over here. These right here. So I had a tomato plant there and I had a tomato plant there. And we ripped them out last night because they looked like they had disease, like the whole plant. And my peppers, for some reason, I'll show you. This is kind of what my tomato plants look like, and maybe some of y'all that watch this video can enlighten me what this is. They just are bad, and they're like dead, they're dying. And it's just this variety, which is like a, well, it's not just this variety. This is a velvet sparkle or something like that. It's supposed to turn purple. And these are like, I think they're like yellow bombs or something. But like my bell peppers, like this one right here, look at, they're doing great. That's a bell pepper plant right there. I don't know if it's because they're in a container, like the ground is not too dry. So that's why I think maybe, like this one's rotted. I don't know if the rain had something to do with it either. I've never had any luck. I've never had any luck with peppers. Either they don't grow at all, or this year, you know, I planted them closer together because they like to kind of be, I think they germinate better that way. But then obviously there's just too many peppers in this plant, in this pot, in this container area here. So we'll try again next year. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna blame it on the weather or some kind of a disease or fungus maybe. Because I mean, if you look, it almost looks like a bug got to them too. Like it was eating on them. I don't know. Look at the flowers. My roses are beautiful. And my huckleberry, look, I got huckleberries in there. I'm gonna pluck them. Next year, if I do huckleberries, obviously I'll need to do more than just what I planted because that was one seed. And if I read right, you can't eat huckleberries raw. You have to like bake them. So I'm making like a homemade Pop-Tart later. So maybe I'll do one with the amount of huckleberries that I have growing right there. Okay, so this right here, anyways, like I said, I took this plant out and this plant because it looked like it was spreading on over to this one, and I so don't want it to. This one I know is a Cherokee purple, and they're supposed to turn like a really deep purple color, and I fed them last night. So I'm hoping that they are okay. This is definitely some kind of a beefsteak tomato that I planted. I'll give that a little bit longer. Okay. Now over here, and this is a mess. So all that weeding that I did the other day, so the storms knocked down most all of my sunflowers. A couple of them, it knocked them forward, so you kind of see them over my tomato plants. So that kind of made me sad. But I need to get in here today. It got too dark last night for us to do anything more over here. But I do have some dragon tongue beans. If you've never seen them, they're like a pole bean variety. And they're called dragon tongue beans, and they look like this. And I probably have some in here. I do, that need to be picked. It's just a mess through here. Sad little mess, because the dragon tongue bean pole beans are supposed to climb up my sunflowers, and well, you know, that didn't work out really well at all, but I got a handful of dragon tongue beans. That is my garden. The end of July, I guess you could say, is what time of year it is right now. That tomato plant is about as tall as that sunflower. So next year, oh look, I get easily distracted, sorry. Cool looking dragonfly. They're everywhere actually right now. So yes, this, I can say that I've accomplished my goal. It's a wonderful thing to say. It is the end of July. Me and my husband have busted our butts, and we've got a garden that I know still needs work, obviously, because you know nothing's ever perfect in the world of nature, or in the world period. But this is the best year for my garden by so much. And we've had so much that have gone wrong. I've lost my greenhouse. I mean, it's pretty much demolished. We've had a drought. We had a flood. It's just been kind of one thing. We had bugs, you know, all these crazy things. And we've had diseases, obviously, that have killed things. But we've also had a great year for our garden. And it just, hopefully, when I watch this video back later, you know, in the fall or the winter, that pumps me up to even do more stuff, you know. So it's exciting times here in the garden at Rooster Crow Farms. But anyways, with all that being said, I was laying there in bed this morning, actually ordered me seeds because I'm thinking of my fall garden, and I want to, for those of you that live in, like, let me get out of the sun, even though that sunflower is beautiful behind me. Let me get out of the sun because it's warm. Look at that rose. There I go again, getting distracted. That rose is really beautiful. And that sunflower, I mean, that right there, that pole, I don't know, it's probably 6 feet tall. So that sunflower is huge. But yes, my garden from this angle, and my dilapidated greenhouse, don't mind that. It looks very beautiful. I am allergic to everything. Look at, I don't know if you can see, my arms are completely broke out in a rash from getting into those cucumbers with all their little prickers. Okay, so anyways, like I was saying, this has been a great year for our garden, and it's got so much more potential, which is a great thing. But so I'm thinking about the fall garden and what I'm gonna do. Obviously this corn's going away, so I'm hoping by mid-August we'll be able to have everything out of there. We should have everything out of there and tilled up, and ready for our fall garden that I'm gonna plant there, which will probably be different varieties of row gardening right there. I went online and ordered me some seeds. So where I live in zone 7A, I believe is my zone, look up your zone. My last frost date sometime in October. So I have a relatively long growing season. So when I plant things, I want to look at the, you know, how long it's going to take for it to obviously germinate, or not germinate, but obviously come to harvest. So if it's August, September, October, we're looking at anything from 60, I mean, I have like 90 days sort of, but not really. So anyway, from like 50 to 60 days is what I need to look at putting in my garden that they come to harvest. So like I said, I got seeds in the house that have germinated and doing really well, like my cabbage. I have some lettuce, some Brussels sprouts, that sort of thing, and some broccoli. And then when I plant out here, like I ordered some today, I ordered some more flowers that can stand a frost. I did order some more sunflowers because I would love to put some out there as well. My cat is trying to squeeze through the fence, but his head's too big. He's a dork. He's trying to get to me. What are you doing, kitty? You can't come that way. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. So anyway, here he comes. He found a way out. I've ordered, well, hi there. What are you doing? Did you find me, Otis? Kitty? I ordered sunflowers. I ordered some bok choy. I've never grown that. I ordered, well, you know what? I've forgotten what I've ordered, but it's fall stuff. I'll get it here in a few weeks and I'll do a video on it. But anyways, because it's not too late to order that stuff is what I'm trying to get at. So, of course, things have sold out. I can't even get on Baker Creek's website. I don't know if it was just something going on this morning, and that's generally where I order my mass quantity of seeds from. MI Gardener is having a sale right now for like 50% off your order. I don't know how long that'll last, but they are sold out of quite a bit of stuff too. But I did order from MI Gardener, and you can check out Botanical Interest. I've grown stuff from them before, and they're relatively inexpensive. They're under $3 a seed pack. So that's why I ordered some seeds from there. Plus I still have a lot left. But here, probably in September, October, I'm going to make a long list, go through all my seeds, and order for the upcoming year. One thing I always seem to miss out on is garlic. I can never seem to get the garlic from the heirloom seed companies. I feel like I'm always late and I end up going to like a local store. I've never been successful with my garlic or my onion for bulbs and stuff. That's one thing I want to work on for next year. I feel like I'm rambling, but I'm excited. I'm excited for our garden and what we've gotten done. And like I said, be working on the fall garden, be thinking about some other things. If you have a long season like we do here in Zone 7A, like other things that you can plant. I've heard you can plant sunflowers, which makes sense because I planted those less than 60 days ago and they've already come up. Next year, although I love the big tall sunflowers, I'm gonna try to get the smaller ones that are less tippy over but are still very beautiful. Okay, but anyways, that's my video today. Thanks for joining in. If you have not liked or subscribed to my channel, please do so, and follow my journey along the way. And until I decide to post another video, y'all have a great and wonderful day.